Good day everyone, my name is Leonard Anton Batitis and I'm with Nathan Lee Abraham, Princess Leon Danaway, and May Sanchez. And our topic is culture relativism. Lesson 5, cultural relativism. The concept of cultural relativism underscores the idea that the culture in every society should be understood and regarded on its own terms. Societies are qualitatively different from one another, such that each one has its own unique inner logic. What is unique inner logic? Sabi dyan, yung society daw may unique inner logic. Ang pagkakaintindi ko kasi, yung unique inner logic ng isang culture or society is the reason behind their culture. It promotes the idea that society has to be viewed from the inside so that inner logic can be better explained. Cultural relativism is the ability to understand the culture on its own term and not to make judgments using the standard of one's own culture. The goal of this is to promote understanding of cultural practices that are not typically part of one's own culture. Sabi dito, ang cultural relativism daw ay isang ideya na ang mga paniniwala at gawin ng isang tao ay dapat maunawaan batay sa sariling kultura ng taong iyon. According to James Russell, the following claims have all been made by cultural relativists. Number 1. Each society has diverse set of moral conducts. Sabi dito, ang bawat lipunan daw ay may magkakaibang hanay ng mga moral na pag-uugali. Number 2, the rightfulness of an action within a society is primarily determined by the moral standard of that society. Sabi doon, ang pagiging tama daw ng aksyon ng isang tao sa loob ng isang lipunan ay pangunahing tinutukoy ng mga pamantayan ng moral ng lipunan iyon. Number 3, there is no objective standard that can be used as a basis of comparison among the societies. Sabi dito, walang layunin ng pamantayan na maaaring gamitin bilang batayan ng paghahambing sa mga lipunan. Number 4. The moral code of our own society is just a part of larger body of morality, that ethical standard. Sabi doon, ang moral na kodigo daw ng ating sariling lipunan ay isang bahagi lamang ng isang malaking katawan ng moralidad at ethical na pamantayan. Number 5. High tolerance among all culture must be exercised always. Sabi dito, ang mataas na pagpaparaya sa lahat ng kultura ay dapat ipinatupad lagi.
Hi everyone! Again, I am Natalie Naomi Abraham, and these are the 5 consequences and observation of accepting cultural relativism. Number 1, it is difficult to determine if the custom of other societies is morally inferior to others. Number 2, the decision whether action are right or wrong can be done just by consulting the standard of other society. Number 3, the idea of moral progress is always questionable. Number 4, the objective criticism of one's own culture is swallowed. And lastly, number 5, there will be no idea of moral progress because of accepting of others' culture. The aspect of mutual respect and understanding must be observed. This is the first step towards a deeper appreciation of one's culture. Tolerance and acceptance of cultural diversity within the bounds of other moral and ethical standard can be a way to understand individual difference.
So, let us proceed to ethnocentrism. So, if the goal of cultural relativism is not to make judgment using the standards of one's own culture, while on the other hand, ethnocentrism is the opposite of cultural relativism. So, ethnocentrism comes from the word ethno means people and centrism means center. The word ethnocentrism was coined by American social scientist William Sumner in 1906 to provide a technical term in viewing one ethnicity in the center of all culture. A literal meaning of ethnocentrism is the regard that one's own culture is the center of everything and therefore more superior than the others. So, meaning to say, we're setting our own culture as the primary standard to judge the other culture. Kinukumpara natin yung kultura natin sa ibang kultura. So, if you're thinking that your culture is better or superior than the others, then it can be considered as ethnocentrism. Kasi, in ethnocentrism, we tend to evaluate, compare, and even judge from our own point of view. Which is not kasi it can lead discrimination against each other. And it can result bullying, racism, and other hate crimes. Example of ethnocentrism. So we Filipinos are addicted to Korean. Their food, their K-drama, Korean group, and even their culture. Their culture are undeniably gorgeous naman kasi. So we Filipinos are addicted to it. So, tinatangkilik natin yung kultura nila. Pero dahil sa sobrang natin pagtangkilik sa kultura nila, yung Korean thinks that their culture is the center of the world. Kasi, an ethnocentric person feels that her own group is the center, is the cultural center of the world. So, meaning to say, they believe that their culture is better or superior than the others. So, on that manner, nagiging ethnocentrism sila. Mas mapapalakas yung pagiging ethnocentrism kesa sa pagiging cultural relativism. Which is not kasi nga nagkakaroon na ng discrimination against each culture. So, William Sumner mentioned some characteristic with an ethnocentric view or ito yung masasabi nating ethnocentric person. Mga katangian ng isang tao na may ethnocentric view. So, number 1, have a dominant culture's elements which they see as superior to the other cultures. View rigidly their own socioeconomic, political, and cultural element. So, number 2, they see their cultural elements as normal and acceptable to all. Number 3, discard out-group ethnicities and cultures. Number 4, believes that the other cultures are inferior and look the other culture's element as inferior and unacceptable.
My name is Princess Diana B. Danaway, 12 Yums 1, Batch 1. It can be seen in Philippine society that the ethnocentrism is still emerging. The sense of identity seems to be a contributing reason for this. It goes deeper in our history that a mixture of different cultures has created several identity marks resulting in our diverse cultural heritage, both tangible and intangible. Also, our indigenous culture can be categorized as old, non-advanced technology with no sense of modernity. After the primitive age, we began to be melting pot of Western and Oriental cultures, resulting in a shaky and complex identity attributed to us today. With these characteristics, it is very difficult to blend this type of indigenous culture to the fast-changing society. Sabi dito, patuloy pa rin daw yung pag-usbong ng ethnocentrism sa lipunang Pilipino. Yung mga pinaghalong iba't ibang kultura ay nag-create ng mga marka na nag-result in our diverse cultural heritage, which is both tangible and intangible. They said that our culture can be categorized as an old, non-advanced technology with no sense of modernity. And after the primitive age, nagsisimula tayong maging melting pot of Western and Oriental cultures na nag-result ng komplikadong identity na tumutukoy sa atin ngayon. Chin of 2016 made some observation on how to address this growing concern on Filipino ethnocentrism. Number 1, identify indigenous culture that truly reflects Filipino identity. So it said, kailangan daw nating alamin yung mga indigenous culture na tunay na nagre-reflect sa ating mga Pilipino. Eliminate foreign influences and stick to homegrown practices. Ito naman yung kailangan nating alisin yung mga dayuhang impluensya or yung mga dayuhang nagpapasimula ng mga maling gawain at manatili na lang sa homegrown practices. If we want to settle our identity, we must accept the good part of the foreign influences that come to us. Kung gusto daw nating ayusin ang identity ng mga Pilipino, kailangan nating tanggapin ang mga dayuhan na maganda ang nais-impluensya sa atin. Although colonization by the Spaniards, Americans, and Japanese has caused a shift in several of our cultural, social, political, and economics policies. It makes the Philippines a single nation. Ang sabi dito, na talagang mahirap alisin yung mga impluensyang ito. Pero kung hahayaan na lang natin, ay para lang tayong nangarap na mawalan ng sarili nating kultura. We need to acknowledge their part in the richness of the tapestry that is the Filipino culture.